one of the best ways to know what's happening in the job market and what jobs are going well is to look at what recruiters are searching for. Indeed did us a big favor recently on their hiringlabs.org. They posted the top 10 things that recruiters search for most. What's interesting to know is this has changed significantly. Now, what used to be the hottest searches for years and years were all IT related. So the idea that you're looking for software engineers and database administrators and any of the big technologies that were currently in use, one of the things that you used to be able to do is look at the top search terms to understand which technologies were the hottest. So that's not the case anymore. Now what we're seeing is the top search terms are really pointing to totally different things. And preview for you, not a single technology term is in the top 10. It used to be inundated with technology terms. Now it's not even on there at all. The most unexpected group shows up in the top 10 now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count down the top 10 most frequently searched terms in Indeed by recruiters. And we'll go 10 to 1, old school David Letterman top 10 list style, but way less funny. Here we go. All right. Number 10, we have just this term retail. So people looking for people to work in their retail positions. Now, that's typically not on here. That's historically, we haven't seen that. People have been able to rely on job applications to attract all their retail people. And the fact that's a search and a very popular search right now, that indicates that recruiters are having to be called on more often in order to find people to fill these retail jobs. We knew there was a gap there. We knew that the places that are having the hardest time filling their jobs are the retail establishments. But this is further evidence that they're really having to go to different things. And historically, I would have told my customers and the companies that my company does recruiting for not to apply searching or sourcing activity towards retail jobs, but instead to focus their attention on advertising for those jobs. And apparently that's changing. Apparently there's a lot of sourcing going on there. It may need to change my own approach based on this data. The second, physical therapists. So you're going to see a lot of healthcare in here, and you'll see a lot of healthcare shows up in this list. So physical therapist, number 2, I'm not surprised at all. Number 3, again in the services space, again in the hourly space, chef and cook. What's interesting is that they're not just saying, I'm looking for a short order cook. They're saying chef and cook, somebody that can run your kitchen, can you do your ordering, can manage the food services piece of your business. The chef and cook is a big deal. That's the senior job in a kitchen. And there seems to be a lot of those. So that is number 7. Number 6, customer service. Now, this is new. Notice the trend here. A lot of these are your hourly jobs that you normally wouldn't have to hunt. This goes right back with that retail job. There's just not enough people doing those hourly jobs, typically the lowest paid jobs, the base of our economy. If our economy is a pyramid going upward toward the most highly paid jobs, the base of that pyramid tends to be these hourly workers, retail, even the cook side, not as much. The chef is typically a more senior role, but customer service certainly goes in there. It's the lowest paid set of positions, but it's in high demand. There's lots of people who need customer service. And honestly, it's a pretty good job. I have done a customer service job in the past, and it's a good place to work typically. Lots of work. It is hard and it's tough, but customer service is a place where we're seeing a lot of searches we didn't used to have to. This again is a job that we used to be able to fill with ads and advertising jobs, and we would have enough people to apply to move it forward. Not the case right now. All right, next on this, electrician. Now, there's an idea of kind of your baseline hourly jobs that don't require specialized skills, that don't require certifications, that don't require an apprenticeship. And then there's the skilled hourly, meaning you get paid per hour, but these are blue collar jobs that are the ones that require some level of schooling and apprenticeship to be a part of those jobs. Electrician is one of those that's typically hard to find, and they're in great demand. What I'll say is, I think the trades, electrician, mechanic, plumber, AC unit people, what's that called? HVAC guys. Those are going to be in huge demand. People have shied away from that. They're like, hey, I'm going to go to get my 4-year degree and do my thing. But they haven't been going into the trades. The fact that they haven't been going into the trades as much means there's way more demand for those trades. And I think that's where things are. AI is not taking over a trade anytime soon. Like, you still need your electrician to wire the place up. There's not a robot that shows up at your house to do this, and there won't be for a very long time. So electrician, I think, is a good place to invest your time. If you're starting out, electrician would be a great job. A mechanic is a good job. A plumber is a good job. These are all good jobs that are paying well. They're paying extraordinarily well, better than they've ever paid before. And it's starting to show. And until more people start taking these jobs, stop going to the 4-year schools and start going to the trade schools, we're going to still see a demand for this and a high pay for this as well. So electrician was next on the list. This was the biggest surprise to me. I did not expect to see accounting. Accounting is the next term on this list. And I was surprised. I thought accounting, honestly, of all the jobs that AI can take over, accounting and finance, pretty high up there. The math that those accountants can do, the machines can do really well as well. I think this is what's interesting about accounting is sometimes accounting can also be a little bit of lawyering. There's a little bit of creativity that can go into accounting, and more companies need to have that. My accountant, I have an accountant, and he's a rather creative individual as well. So I imagine that it's people like him that people are hiring for. Next on this list, you've got mechanics. Another of these skilled hourlies. Again, get into those trades. That mechanic job is big. Okay, now we're into our top 3. Top 3 that are left. Next one is nurse. I said there was some healthcare in here. We already had physical therapist down at number 8. Number 3 is just the term nurse. People search for nurses. And I think this is true. It's been true for years and years. We've had a shortage of nurses. It's not going away. This one word represents 2.9% of all searches for candidates in Indeed. That's pretty big. So when recruiters are looking for people, about almost 3% of the time, they're searching for nurses. All right. Number 2, sale, just general salespeople. Now, I do think that, one, I'm disappointed in the recruiters that are writing these searches. Sales, and they just want to see what happens and see what shows up. Come on, give me a break. Write a better search. But number 2, sales, looking for more people to sell more stuff. And in an economy like ours, I think that makes sense. Finally, number 1, most searched term, registered nurse. Registered nurse with 4.1. So if you combine the 2 nurses, the registered nurse and then just the term nurse, those are coming at number 1 and number 3. So combine those 2 search terms, you get 6% of all searches. Anytime somebody's searching for anything, 6% of the time, it's some sort of nurse. That is wild. It's crazy. Now, how is this different internationally? I'll hit 3 other countries just to give you a feel for what they're looking for briefly. Canada, the number 1 job is sales. Number 2, this is a weird one, a mill. I'm not exactly sure even what a millwright is. I'll have to look that up. So millwright, they've also got mechanic, accounting, electrician, chef and cook, customer service. Plumber shows up in theirs. I think plumber should be on ours. It may be in the 11, 12, 13, 14. We don't have the full list. Nurse and support worker are there. Australia, number 1 is Australia. That's interesting. Childcare. Number 1 is childcare in Australia, which I've never seen before, followed by sales mechanic, physiotherapist, which is like our physical therapist here in the US. That was number 9 for us. That's number 4 for them. General practitioner, man, they have a shortage of doctors. At least we don't have a shortage of doctors showing up in this thing. But general practitioner. I also want to know how many doctors are posting their resume on Indeed. Is this a wasted search? I don't know. Registered nurse, chef and cook, occupational therapist, nurse, and psychologist round out theirs. Lots more medical on there, but childcare is number 1. That was new to me. 3% of their searches are there. All right. And then in the United Kingdom, we have nurses number 1 with 6.9% of their searches. Wow. 6.9%. That's huge on the searches. Sales, chef and cook, support worker, care assistant, mechanic, customer service, accounting, electrician, and then teaching assistant is the other one that rounds out that top 10. All right. Thank you for watching with me today. This is what people are looking for. If you're trying to decide, hey, I want to change my career, this might be something that can inform your decision on a career that you should take. And I welcome any feedback that you have. I'm super curious to hear in the comments below from you what you're having recruiters contact you for now that they haven't contacted you for before. And if you're considering a job change, what type of job are you considering doing going forward? I have a friend that's a recruiter, and he's actually talking about going to becoming a plumber. What are you considering? I'm very fascinated to see. Mike, you know who you are. I want you to comment because you told me that you're considering a change, and I'd love to see your comment in here as well. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.